I heard FedEx is executing furloughs right now. They might be. They might be. I've heard, obviously right now where the economy is, Six Lehman's, I've heard of several companies that's laying off people, that's furloughing people. A lot of the videos that I make are for owner operators. And when I talk about being an owner operator, I like to point out the downside. There's a lot of people on YouTube talking about the good side of owning and operating your own truck. I like to talk about the other side of it as well. But when that happens, when I do that, a lot of the times I'll get comments from individuals that are company drivers that will basically seem to think that they're in a better position than the owner operator. That happens a lot on my videos that go out as far as the downside of being an owner operator. And every time I see a comment from someone that appears to be a company driver that is seems to be saying, feeling like being a company driver is better. I don't never really understand that logic. Not me personally. Real quick, family. For the last few weeks, I've been going live with my audience here on the channel every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I really enjoy it. I plan to stay as consistent as I can with that in the future going forward. Now, obviously, the edited videos, like the one you're watching right now, I'm going to continue with those. But in my opinion, there's really nothing like the interaction and engagement that is available only in a live stream. If you're not a subscriber of the channel though, then you're not being notified when we're live here. And I don't leave my live streams public. I rip out the valuable parts, edit it, and re-upload those videos. So if you miss these live streams, then you're missing out on the opportunity to be able to really engage and interact with me and with the audience here on the channel. So before you click off of this video, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel so you'll be reminded. You'll get a notification right on your phone whenever we're live. And it doesn't matter whether you're new in trucking or if you're a veteran, you've been around for a while, or if you're just thinking about getting in trucking. I normally come up with some pretty valuable topics to discuss in the lives. Consider subscribing to the channel, family, and I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Now let's get back to the video. I'm one to say that there's nothing wrong with being a company driver. It's not best for everybody. There is no one side of trucking that's best for everybody. I would say being an owner is not best for everybody. I enjoy being an owner, but for other people, I can understand why an individual would choose to be an owner, a company driver. But on the other side of the coin, the company driver got to understand that you're not really escaping most of the stuff that an owner is operating. You're really that an owner is dealing with. The company driver is really not escaping that stuff. As far as an owner operator right now, fuel costs are higher than normal, we'll say, right? And a lot of the company drivers that I talk to personally, that's one of the first things that they say. They're like, man, I don't want to have to deal with, the high fuel costs, or the high maintenance costs of a truck. And so they feel like being a company driver is the way to deal with the high costs. But, the way that I look at that is, an owner is getting paid to deal with the high cost of maintaining the truck and the high cost of the fuel and all of that stuff that goes into it. The owner is getting owner pay for that. Now, on the personal side, there's the business side and the personal side. On the personal side, we're all dealing with increased cost of living. Everybody's paying more for milk right now. Everybody's paying more for eggs right now. Everybody's paying more for insurance and all of that good stuff and utilities and all of that stuff. As a company driver, you're not dealing with the high maintenance and the high fuel, but you're not getting owner pay as well. And other than that, you're dealing with the same high expenses or expensive everything else that the owner is dealing with. Plus, as a company driver, you still, don't forget, you still deal with the volatility or the possibility of being able to, of losing your job, of being furloughed, of being laid off, sometimes through no fault of your own. As an owner operator, you have a little bit more control over whether you stay employed or not, or whether you keep the money coming in or not. There's a lot of owner operators that will tell you right now that they're not running like that, like they want to, but you do have some control over that, and over how much you run, and over how you run as an owner operator. Some owner operators right now are not running as much as they would like because they're not able to run how they want, but they do have the option to run more if they want to. So, everybody's income in trucking is volatile. I'll definitely be the first to say that. But company drivers are not necessarily better off. People that work for someone, I don't care what industry you're in, you always face the possibility of your income being cut off. You're not in control of that. The owner is in control of that. This is the main reason why people choose to be on the owner operator side of trucking, because they don't want to have to deal with that. So, six in one hand and half a dozen in the other. There's pros and cons to owning, and there's pros and cons to being a company driver and not having to deal with all the stuff that an owner has to deal with. It's an individual preference. Neither one is universally better than the other. I talk about that a lot in a lot of my videos, actually. So